MyoBlox LOCO, new bronchodilating ingredient. I'm excited. What's up, PricePlow Nation? This is Mike. So yes, it is September of 2022, and MyoBlox, they made a lot of noise about 5 years ago or so, has updated their Blow stimulant-free pre-workout supplement that's behind me as Blow 3D, and LOCO, their high stimulant, but it's actually a really full spectrum pre-workout supplement named LOCO. And what I'm really excited about, we're going to cover a lot. I smell that gummy candy. We're going to cover the new ingredient, Vasica Extract. So what I want to do here, I'm going food scale on this one. 2 scoops, a 2 full scoop serving, which will get you a full clinical 1.5 gram dose of nitrosogene, will also get you 400 milligrams of caffeine. So we're going to go a little bit, I'm going to go 1.5 scoops, 300 milligrams of caffeine. Then we're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back and talk about the ingredients as this starts hit. 8.5 grams per scoop. I'm looking for about 13 grams total. Just so you know, the scoop is good. It's 8.3 grams and a pretty leveled scoop, so don't get worried about getting overstimmed. With a heavy scoop, it's weighing out quite nicely. Now, they relaunched with 3 flavors. They have a kiwi raz, a sour gummy, and a watermelon flavor. I have the sour gummy flavor right here. And what I was gonna say, wow, that is really good. I was gonna say, expect some bitterness with all the caffeine. Caffeine's nothing for these companies to flavor over, but apparently the alkaloids from this Vasica extract that we're gonna talk about can be very bitter as well. And the natives don't eat the leaves that often. They sometimes smoke them. So that's where we're going today, by the way. But no, I have barely any bitterness. This is a really good sour gummy flavor. Folks, y'all gotta be careful with this one. I'm using a food scale for a reason, because we need to check out how hard this is gonna hit. Now, what's cool with this formula is, in terms of the stim blend for me, there's actually not gonna be any like alpha yohimbine, rauwolfine, rauwolfia, any of that stuff. No isopropyl norepinephrine or synephrine. So actually, it's gonna be mostly caffeine powered on the energy blend, but we're gonna see how this Vasica extract kind of works with the extra. So let me drink it a little bit, and then we're gonna come back a little bit fired up, ready to roll.
1 hour later.
All right, I'm back. Opened up some curtains and everything. A little bit better lighting here. Let's just cut right to what we want to talk about here. And this is a new plant. We're kind of arguing about how this is pronounced, so don't blame me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Adhatoda Vasica Extract. Now, the plant's name is Justicia adhatoda. And this is a plant, when you start looking at the research, has long historically been used in Ayurvedic medicine for treating lung pain, breathing problems, asthma type issues, and anything like relating to bronchoconstriction. And so when we start hearing about that, we get a little bit excited, because there's been certain ingredients, certain chemicals that are no longer legally sold as dietary supplements that worked very well in that vein. I'm kind of talking about ephedrine, and now I'm not comparing this to ephedrine at all, but when we see those types of effects, because ephedrine did a bunch of other stuff as well, stimulatory, when we see those types of effects, our ears perk up a little bit in terms of athletics, in terms of blood flow, better breathing. A lot of people who follow me know that I'm a swimmer, and I take certain types of these ingredients that are no longer legally sold as dietary supplements, and I am able to go 50 meters without breathing. I get excited, all right? So, this is my kind of thing here, and so this plant, Justicia adhatoda, has historically been used for that. And if you start digging into the research and into the mechanisms and into what some of the new researchers are saying about this, it gets very exciting. I think MyoBlox is really onto something here. So we have an article. We're going to be referencing some of it. I am cheating with some notes here and everything. It's our first time writing about it. But in general, that this plant has a lot of various like antioxidant phytochemicals, alkaloids, tannins, saponins, flavonoids, all that good stuff in here. And the main thing, there's going to be like 2 or 3 main constituents here that have been shown to inhibit an enzyme known as 5-LOX, which is a bronchoconstriction enzyme. And so that's where we're kind of going with this here. So the main 2 and we're going to talk about 3 constituents. Now, this extract, first off, I got to go backwards a little bit. Yes, this is a proprietary blend. We know we have 400 milligrams of caffeine in 2 scoops out of a 1220 milligram proprietary blend. It's behind caffeine, theanine, and then we have our Adhatoda Vasica extract. So it's standardized for 1% alkaloids. What alkaloids? I got 2 to 3 guesses here, but yeah, it's a proprietary blend. Sorry, it is what it is. We're excited about the new stuff, though. And so 2 constituents that are known as 5-LOX inhibitors are vasicine and vasacinone. And I may be pronouncing that slightly wrong. Vasacinone, I think it's vasacinone. So they are 5-LOX inhibitors. 5-LOX being arachidonate 5-lipoxygenase, and that is an enzyme whose products cause bronchoconstriction. By inhibiting it, you allow a more bronchodilation, and it open, like quote unquote, opens up the lungs a little bit. What's interesting is that one of these constituents, vasacine, has derivatives that are actually used in bronchodilation drugs. So the pharmaceutical companies can't really patent or put like the plant extract right into a drug, but they could use it as a scaffold or use the derivatives to then make drugs out of it, and that's what we have here. So we've talked about some of these ingredients here. Mother Nature provides us some really awesome stuff here. Now the natives with these leaves of this plant, they have been known to smoke them, but the plant is bitter, so you don't really eat the leaves. I'm very happy to say that this formula tastes amazing. Like, watch out. You're going to want to drink a lot of this. But anyway, so we're excited about bronchodilators. We've seen some really cool stuff happen with some of them, but occasionally, but the industry's been moving to some of these natural bronchodilators because we can get some stimulants from caffeine, theobromine that we have here. Then there's other ones as well. But we've like in the early 2000s, we lost out on ephedrine. And you can still go to get ephedrine. It's still sold as Bronkaid in most states. You're going to have to give them your ID. Make sure, they're going to make sure you're not making illegal drugs out of it and stuff. And you can only buy so much. But you can get ephedrine. I would not stack it with this because we'd have possibly, overlapping effects here. But anyway, you can still get ephedrine. However, the supplement industry is sometimes looking for ways to kind of mimic some of those effects. But what's also really cool here is that studies are showing that not only are we inhibiting 5-LOX here, but we are preventing arachidonic acid, the pro-inflammatory metabolite of linoleic acid that we talk about a lot when we're talking about omegas, when we eating too much soybean oil, we got way too much arachidonic acid, way too much inflammation. Well, it doesn't just like go to your body fat. The inflammation is systemic and it's everywhere. It's also hitting the lungs. And by inhibiting 5-LOX, we're also inhibiting the ability of arachidonic acid to bind to some of the active sites here, enabling better breathing. Now that takes us down another rabbit hole and it goes even further, because when we start seeing that we have respiratory benefits, let's say, then you start looking at some of the modern, more novel diseases created in 2020, for instance, and there are researchers actually suggesting that Adhatoda Justicia is be targeted for the modern viral diseases that we've been dealing with the last few years. And it turns out that there is a third constituent known as anisotine that is active against the ACE2 enzyme. We talk about these sometimes in terms of they are vasoconstricting enzymes. This Vasaka plant has two different things going on: bronchodilation, but also anti-vasoconstriction, because it is able to inhibit the ACE2 enzyme. Once you start seeing this combination, a lot of the researchers are starting to look at, okay, can this potentially combat the SARS virus? And that's where some of the research goes, because you have a double whammy here. It's not just ACE. The virus uses ACE2 as the path of entry, but not only are we blocking that, we're also opening up the lungs. And if you have a respiratory illness, well, there's some potential here. So I'm not saying this can cure, treat, diagnose any type of disease or anything. I'm saying that this is a very exciting bronchodilation ingredient, and I'm saying that we have at least 3 constituents that are very impressive. I do not know what MyoBlox is standardizing for. Overall, very exciting. And finally, by inhibiting 5-LOX, you may also have some neuroprotective potential. And this takes us down a whole nother rabbit hole, another argument, but it has been shown to inhibit some of the beta amyloid plaques that they used to be blamed for Alzheimer's disease. That doesn't seem to be the case. That's like under big fire this summer. There's been a huge scandal. Some of that research is probably on its way to being retracted. Some of the images were being doctored up, and the 20 years of research possibly thrown down the drain. It seems like these amyloid plaques are the effects of Alzheimer's and not the cause of it, but they're associated. Either way, it seems that this is able to inhibit the formation of some of those. There might be some neuroprotective benefits here. Extremely exciting. I love seeing this stuff. I love seeing constituents that have semi-medical therapeutic type uses, where the historical use pairs up with what we want in terms of modern use, in addition to possibly athletic benefits. So I'm probably gonna have to come back here and give a little review after swimming. I'm kind of getting wired up, just you couldn't tell, talking about this supplement. That's Vasica Extract. Anyone looking for more information, check out the blog post on it. And through the rest, I'm just gonna fly through the rest of this formula in 2 scoops. That's what you gotta decide, 1 to 2 scoops. 1 scoop, 200 milligrams of caffeine. caffeine, 2 scoops. We have 6 grams of citrulline malate, which is a clinical dose, 3.2 grams. And so citrulline malate being the nitric oxide booster. Watch my, read the blog post or watch our videos to learn more about that. Beta alanine, the endurance booster by helping us flush out lactic acid by creating more carnosine, by binding with histidine. I kind of went backwards there. 3.2 gram clinical dose if you take 2 scoops, 400 milligrams of caffeine, so beware. And then one of our favorite, if not our favorite, nitric oxide boosting supplement ingredients, Nutrition 21's nitrosamine, 1.5 grams and 2 scoops. Love it. That's like what we always wanted arginine to be, a more bioavailable form of arginine because it's a inositol stabilized arginine silicate. And once again, if you want the full clinical dose, you got to do 400 milligrams of caffeine to get it. So, or you might want to like pair up, a stem-free pump supplement if not. Then we have 1.5 grams of L-tyrosine, which is a pretty good amount of the amino acid to get some of these neurotransmitters boosting, as well as a gram of agmatine sulfate, which can work as an arginase inhibitor. Another inhibitor, arginase breaks down some of our arginine. Agmatine can possibly keep that from happening as much, and so we have a little bit more inhibition here. And then we have our energy blend. It's led by caffeine, then L-theanine, which synergizes with caffeine to kind of try to bring down the jitters a little bit, increases nootropic potential. A lot of times we're working on ways, and in this formula, you have a little bit of theobromine, you have the L-theanine, and you have rhodiola rosea, ways to calm some of that caffeine so that we can have a high dose and get some of those other ergogenic benefits from it. Then we have the Vasaka extract. I believe I went deep enough on that. And finally, so the rhodiola extract is 3% rosafin, 1% salidroside, which we love. And then we have huperzine A to finish it off, which is also another inhibitor, an acetylcholinesterase inhibitor, which helps prevent the breakdown of choline. And on top of that, we have a couple high quality vitamin B6 and vitamin B12, both the methylated forms, which we love to see. Hopefully I flew through that part enough because I really wanted to focus on the Vasaka extract. I think I get excited. We talk about a lot of the same ingredients over and over. Citrulline, beta alanine, caffeine. Of course, we get into it a lot. So when I see something new, Vasaka, with 3 constituents, 2 of which have bronchodilation status, 1 of which has ACE enzyme status, and we have an ongoing mess out in the world where both of these things are very suitable. It's an interesting ingredient, and you should read the studies if you're into that kind of stuff. And for the rest of us who just want to be able to do a little bit more cardio, or just if you find yourself maybe running out of breath, get in better shape obviously, but this could be worth trying and messing with. And then I think I missed theobromine in there a little bit too, so kind of prolonging some of that caffeine strike. I would not take this too late in the day. That's it. Check out PricePlow.com/MyoBlox. Hopefully I did decently enough here. We're going to be flashing up some pictures and graphs of some stuff from these Vasaka studies. I wish there was more information, but we have some pretty cool constituents inside that I'm all about obviously. So thanks for watching. PricePlow.com/MyoBlox is where you can learn a little bit more. Check out, we will have a video on Blow 3D as well, which has the 3D breakthrough pump ingredient. Pretty awesome stack, but honestly, for being more on the stimulant side with the name Loco, this actually has a really good pump matrix. Like nitrosamine and citrulline, I honestly don't think you need to stack much more in, unless you're like one of those crazy dudes having a crazy 10-hour arm day or something like that. Maybe. This kind of stands for itself, and it doesn't have yohimbine or any of those other things either. So that's my take. I'm excited about this one. See you, folks.